They will never see you coming, not because you hid, but because they never believed you had the power to rise from the ordinary into the extraordinary. But let me tell you something. You don't need their belief. You only need your own. There is a silent revolution that begins within. No applause, no audience. Just you, alone, with the one power that shapes worlds, your awareness of being. You've been taught to hustle for validation, to beg reality for scraps of success. But the truth, the real truth, is this. What you accept as true within yourself will crystallize in your world, not by chance, not by effort, but by law. The moment you shift your attention inward, the moment you stop reacting to the world and begin commanding it from within, you become unstoppable. Not by force, but by the authority of your assumption. This is not self-improvement. This is self-awakening. So tonight, I'm not here to tell you to grind harder. I'm here to remind you that the world you want is already yours. You simply must claim it in the silence of your imagination, walk in it boldly, and let the world be stunned by who you've become. Close your eyes for a moment. Creates reality, not to escape the world, but to enter the only place where real change begins, within. Everything you see around you, your circumstances, your relationships, your finances, even the way people treat you, is a reflection of your own inner state. Not one single detail in your life has happened outside the canvas of your imagination. What you consent to be true within, whether knowingly or unconsciously, becomes the substance of your life. But imagination is not fantasy. It is creation in its rawest, most powerful form. You've been told that reality is something you must accept, that you have to play the hand you're dealt and make the best of it. But the truth is, you are not here to adapt to the world. You are here to command it from the inside out. Your inner conversations, your silent assumptions, your deep emotional tones, these are the architects of your world. If you want to change your life, don't try to manipulate the shadows on the wall. Go directly to the light source, your own imagination. Most people live reactively. They wake up each day and respond to what the world gives them, forgetting they were the ones who imagined it in the first place. But when you truly understand that you are the operant power, everything changes. You stop pleading with life. You stop seeking permission. Instead, you begin to claim your reality as already yours. You do it not with force, but with certainty. You see it in your mind's eye. You feel it with your emotional core, and then, without fail, life begins to mirror that inner state. You must understand this. Imagination fused with belief is not a suggestion. It is law. Just as surely as gravity never fails, so too will your world reflect what you persistently imagine and accept as true. So ask yourself, what inner scenes are you replaying? What stories are you telling yourself when no one is listening? That is your true prayer. That is your true creation. When you persist in imagining the life you desire, even when everything outside screams otherwise, you activate a power few ever touch. You become immune to appearances. You no longer wait for things to change, you become the change. And the world bows to that conviction. Doors open, people shift, circumstances bend, not because you fought, but because you imagined from the end, and the end is always fulfilled. So stop looking for evidence and start looking within. Dare to believe that your imagination is not just a playground of the mind, but the womb of reality itself. Live in the unseen until the seen has no choice but to obey. Let your inner world speak first, and let the outer world fall into place. Imagination is not wishful thinking. It is the first act of creation. Use it consciously and you will shock everyone, including yourself. Live in the end. There is a version of you, right now, who already has everything you've ever desired. They are not waiting. They are not doubting. They are living the life you dream about. And the only thing separating you from that version is your refusal to become them now. To live in the end is not to hope. It is not to wish. It is to move with quiet confidence, to walk, speak, think, and feel as if the goal is already done. This is the great secret most overlooked. You do not achieve your desire by effort. You assume it as already fulfilled. The world teaches you to chase, but the truth is you attract what you are. If you want to be successful, you must stop behaving like someone seeking success and begin behaving like someone who already is. It's not pretending. It's not delusion. It's alignment. When you live in the end, you anchor yourself in the feeling of completion. You move through life as if your desire has already been answered. You don't check constantly to see if it's working because you've already become the person for whom it's normal. This is the subtle, spiritual power that moves mountains. You don't beg the universe. You embody the outcome. And the universe, which reflects your state of consciousness, has no choice but to conform. Most people live in the in-between. They desire something but think, speak, and act like it's far away. This mental gap becomes their reality. They think they are being realistic, but they are simply reaffirming lack. To live in the in is to collapse that gap. It is to declare with boldness, I am the one who has it. I am already there. You will know you are living in the end by the peace that comes with it. You no longer need to force outcomes. You don't look to circumstances for proof. Your inner world becomes stable, immovable, and in that stillness the outer world begins to rearrange itself around your new identity. People show up. Opportunities unfold, but none of it feels shocking because you've already lived it internally. Let go of the how. Let go of the timing. Those are not your concern. Creation is finished the moment you accept the end in your imagination. Everything else is just the unfolding. Let life handle the bridge of events. Your job is to remain faithful to the end you've chosen. So ask yourself now, if I already had what I want, who would I be? How would I walk? How would I speak, think, feel, and act? Then start being that version now, without apology, without hesitation. The world may not understand at first, but it will respond. And those who once doubted you will be stunned, not by what you achieved, but by how effortlessly you became it. Live in the end, and the end will live through you. The world is yourself pushed out. Look around you. Everything in your life, the people, the conversations, the opportunities, the obstacles, every single part of it is a reflection of you. Not the surface you, but the deeper self. Your assumptions, your self-concept, your most persistent inner dialogue. The world is not separate from you, it is you pushed out. Your outer world is a mirror faithfully echoing the state of your inner world. At first, this idea feels uncomfortable. We want to believe life happens to us. We want someone to blame. But here lies the great shift. Once you accept that the world reflects your consciousness, you no longer feel powerless. You become accountable. And with accountability comes ultimate freedom. Because if it's all you, then you can change it all. When people treat you with love and respect, it's a reflection of the love and respect you hold for yourself. When they ignore, reject, reject or criticize you, that too is born from a belief you've entertained, perhaps a belief in your unworthiness or invisibility. This doesn't mean you should blame yourself. It means you must know yourself. You must become the master of your inner conversation. You may say, but I never wanted this pain. I didn't choose betrayal. I didn't wish for lack. Of course, you didn't want it consciously, but subconsciously we often accept narratives about ourselves that contradict our desires. We say, I'm not good enough. Things never work out for me. People always leave. And though these statements may seem small or internal, they are prayers, unconscious ones, that the universe answers without judgment. So if you want the world to change, stop wrestling with the mirror. Change the image within. Do not beg people to love you. Become the one who knows they are already loved. Do not chase money. Become the one who lives from abundance. The moment you shift, the world must shift too. That is law. It is easy to focus on others, to try to change them, fix them, convince them. But the secret is this. When you change your self-concept, the people in your life are compelled to reflect that shift. Some will rise with you, others will fall away, but all will respond to who you have become. To stop asking, why is this happening to me, and start asking, what in me created this? And what in me can create something better? This is not about guilt. It's about power. The power to recreate your world from the inside out. The world is not against you. It is not random. It is not broken. It is obedient, and it is listening always to who you believe you are. Ring. So choose wisely. Speak boldly. Assume lovingly, because the world, like a mirror, has no choice but to show you what you expect of yourself. Change you, and everything changes. The world is not out there. The world is you. Revealed. Persistence trumps evidence. In a world trained to worship results, the greatest test of your power is this. Can you persist in your vision even when there is no evidence it's working? Can you remain loyal to your inner world even when the outer world gives you every reason to quit? This is where most people fall. They begin their journey filled with hope, filled with excitement, filled with belief. But then days pass, weeks pass. Nothing seems to change. Doubt creeps in. Old stories whisper, see, it's not working. And because they do not see results, they assume nothing is happening. So they let go of the vision and return to their old self, unaware that they were inches from breakthrough. Here is the truth that few accept. The outer world is always lagging behind your inner transformation. Reality doesn't instantly reflect your new assumptions. Like a seed planted in the soil, your imagination must take root before it breaks the surface. The delay between assumption and manifestation is not punishment. It is preparation. It is the time needed to align people, places, and events with the reality you've chosen. But in that waiting period, you must hold your ground. You must persist. You must refuse to bow to appearances. When nothing is happening, something is happening. Beneath the surface, beyond your senses. The question is not, is it working? The real question is, will I keep believing even when it looks like it's not? Persistence is not repetition. It's not about forcing yourself to visualize the same scene over and over. Persistence is faithfulness to your chosen state of being. It means assuming your desire is already yours and continuing to live, think, and feel from that truth, regardless of what your five senses report. That is true mastery. Then is this: evidence is always the result, not the cause. If you look to the world for proof before you commit to your inner vision, you've reversed the process. You are like someone waiting for a reflection in the mirror to smile before you do. It doesn't work that way. Your assumption comes first. The evidence comes later. Many people give up too soon because they are addicted to signs. They look for little hints that their manifestation is on the way. If they don't see them, they get discouraged. But you are not here to live by breadcrumbs. You are here to live by truth, the truth of your imagination, the truth of your inner conviction. Signs may come or they may not, but they are not your guide. Your state is. And here's the irony. The moment you no longer need evidence, it begins to flood your life, because you're no longer reacting to the world, you're creating it. You stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming the cause of it. That's what persistence really is. A quiet refusal to betray your vision. Not loud, not dramatic, just steady, unwavering belief. The world will test you. It will present you with contradictions, with delays, with the temptation to doubt. But remember, these are not signs of failure. They are simply remnants of old beliefs still fading out. Don't fight them. Don't fear them. Just observe them with calm detachment and return again and again to the truth of who you now claim to be. The sense doesn't require perfection. You will have moments of doubt. You may fall into old patterns. That's okay. Just don't stay there. Return to your assumption. Reclaim your state. You're not being tested to see if you're worthy. You're being shown where you still waver. Every doubt is an invitation to deepen your belief. If you can hold the vision long enough, life will catch up. It must, because imagination sustained and believed in becomes fact. Not by luck, not by force, but by law. So if the world hasn't changed yet, don't panic, don't retreat, just smile gently and say, it's already done. And keep walking as though it is. Because when you persist with quiet knowing, the world will move, not because you chased it, but because you never moved from your truth. Let them watch. Let them doubt. Let the world wonder how you did it. And you'll know the answer. You persisted. You stayed loyal to the unseen. And eventually, reality had no choice but to obey. Be still and know. There comes a point when striving must cease, when all the affirmations, the visualizations, and the inner work give way to something deeper, something quieter, something more profound. Stillness. Not the stillness of inactivity or passivity, but the stillness of complete inner certainty, the kind that doesn't shout, doesn't beg, doesn't plead, it simply knows. Be still and know is not a religious cliche. It is the key to unlocking your true power. In stillness, you step out of the frantic pace of the outer world and enter into the calm authority of the inner one. This is where creation happens. Not in noise, not in chaos, but in the silent chambers of your awareness. Most people are afraid of stillness. They avoid it. They mask it with constant doing, endless distraction, and obsessive effort. Why? Because in stillness, the truth becomes impossible to ignore. In stillness, you are left face to face with yourself. There is no one to blame, no one to rescue you, only you. And the awareness that your reality flows from within. When you are still, you no longer react, you observe. You stop chasing outcomes and begin to rest in the assumption that what you desire already is. You don't have to force the universe into action, because in truth, you and the universe are not separate. Your stillness is not a delay. It is a declaration. It says, I already have it. There is nothing more to do, nothing to earn. It is mine. This inner stillness is power beyond measure. It is the eye of the storm. While the world swirls in uncertainty and chaos, you stand unmoved, not by stubbornness, but by faith. You have become one with your assumption. And because you are no longer seeking, life begins to deliver, quietly, swiftly, elegantly. You must understand, movement in consciousness always precedes movement in the world. So when you enter the state of having and dwell there consistently, the world begins to mirror your peace. The right people arrive, the perfect timing unfolds, but none of it feels like effort, because it flowed from a place of alignment, not struggle. Stillness is not stagnation. It is clarity. It is alignment with your highest self, the you who already knows that what you want is already yours. In that state, you stop oscillating between doubt and belief. You simply are. And in that being, your new reality is born. So many people sabotage their manifestations because they won't stop moving. They won't stop looking for proof. They plant a seed and then keep digging it up to check if it's growing. But the wise know creation is not loud. The most powerful work is done in silence. When you are still, you do not need the world to validate you. You are the validation. You are the source. Stillness is not laziness. It's alignment. It's the space where you shift from trying to get to already being, from force to flow, from anxiety to knowing. And when you live from that place, life becomes effortless. Not because it's always easy, but because it's finally yours. To be still and know is to stop needing the world to change before you feel peace. It's to stop bringing peace first and let the world catch up. It's choosing faith over fear, presence over panic, being over doing. Let others hustle. Let them burn themselves out chasing shadows. You will go within. You will anchor yourself in silence. And from that silence, your true self will emerge, radiant, whole, complete, unshaken by delay, unmoved by doubt, rooted in truth. So take a breath, let go of the tension, drop the resistance, and go within, not to escape the world, but to command it. Be still and know. Know that you are the apparent power. Know that your assumption creates. Know that the world is not waiting to give you permission. It's waiting to reflect your certainty. Be still and the world will rearrange itself. Be still and the noise will fade. Be still and you will remember what you've always known. It is already done.